I'm Doug Thompson of BDS Productions, and welcome to our continuing program. We are Branson, and we miss you, and we have a special guest today, Amy Dutton from Branson. Most of you know the Dutton family, and Amy is the director of the family program. And Amy, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for asking me to be on.
Our pleasure. How's the family doing?
We're actually doing really well. Of course, we're feeling this crazy time right now because we're not able to do shows, but we have taken this time to be very creative. In fact, I was talking to my sister and my sister-in-law yesterday. We were just having a meeting and kind of how the Lord blesses us in different ways. And it's been great to try to think of different ways to have our show, so we have developed a live stream that we do every Thursday nights on YouTube. And it's been really fun to come up with new content and try to figure out, okay, what should we do this week? What should we do this week? How should we, relate to the audience, because this is a different a way of performing, because we're performing with a webcam, a computer, and then we go up and we relate to that computer, we get up there and it's been really fun because we have live comments coming in right as we're performing, and so we're able to immediately say something back to the people that are saying these comments to us. It's been really fun. So we've been doing shout outs and it's been great, and it's growing. This week it'll be our fourth broadcast on Thursday at 7. So
wow. Do you dance for the video, or you just not enough room?
We've tried a couple different ways. So we've done a couple on stage, and then one in my house, in this room actually, and then we're gonna do this Thursdays from Tim and Judith's house. But yeah, like on stage we did a dancing number, and it was kind of hard because the camera kind of cuts off part of the stage.
Right.
But we did it that way, and of course we kept it to around 9 to 10, 9 performers, and then the 10th person is our guy that's managing the technical aspect, so we've been really trying to adhere to the 10-person guidelines.
Right.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, we didn't do any dancing when we were in just my in this room, in my music room, but it's fun changing it up all the time. So
well, you know what we found with this series here is, and the way that it sort of started was, we had people we have other shows that we do, and we just sort of got to talking about Branson, because Branson's like a second home to us. We have condos at Point Royale, and we go to Branson when we can. We raced at 65 Speedway before the strip was ever built, and we know many of the performers, but we're not performers. I can hardly work the knobs of the radio, let alone being able to do anything else. But we started having, people would say, is there any way, I wonder what the performers are doing, without people coming in and stuff. And I repeatedly would say, the performers are missing you just like you're missing them. I'm not talking about the dollars and cents. That's just a necessary part to happen, and everybody understands that. But I said the performers love to take time to interact with the crowd and talk to them, and pretty soon they say, oh, you got a kid about this age here, a little boy, so do I, and so forth, and they love that. And so when we thought, how can we do this? Love the idea of being in your house right now, and I can look behind you and see some family pictures and some books. That's what the fans love to do, is to say, she's just like us. Yeah.
I don't know if you can see, but let's see, we've got my husband's law books are up there.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. See?
I recognized them.
You're an attorney?
Yeah, I'm an attorney. and Amy's husband's an attorney, has been an attorney for how many years now?
Oh my gosh. I think it's been 13 or 14 years, and he's got his own law practice, Tri-Lakes Law Firm, and he's doing great. He has an attorney that he's hired, and he's very, 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 very busy. So
yeah, I'm familiar with that. I've been an attorney for 44 years, and and that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, tell me about the Duttons.
Well, we are all one family, something that's very unique about us is we are the band, we're the singers, we're the dancers, we're the, you know, the instrumentalists, everything. The only non-family member is our drummer, Rob, and he's amazing. So my brother Josh used to be our drummer, and he is not in the show anymore, but he comes and performs with us every once in a while. But kind of our history is my parents, way back when we were kids, they had met some people that had raised their kids on a farm, and they were so impressed with how their children turned out with that work ethic of having to get up every morning and milk the cows, and do that farm work. And that's you? You're a farm kid?
I was that too, yeah, I was a farm kid.
You're a farm kid. Well, my parents were just so impressed and blown away with the work ethic and the discipline that was instilled in these friends' children, that they thought, well, my dad was a professor of economics, and we did not live on a farm. We lived in the city. And so my mom and dad met another family that had they had their kids learn classical violin. And so the Suzuki method. And so they thought, you know, let's do the violins instead of milking cows. And that was their sole idea, was just, okay, let's help our kids. It did not even enter their mind to have a family band. It wasn't even in anywhere in their realm of thought. And anyway, when my older brother and sister were 9 and 10, they'd won a contest to solo a Vivaldi duet with our local symphony. And there was a guy that saw them. The next day he came to our house and he knocked on the door. We thought he was a door-to-door salesman. And he said, have you guys ever heard of bluegrass music? And we said, no, what's that? And he said, well, can I come in and teach you a fiddle song? And so he came in and he taught us Boil 'em Cabbage Down, which is the song we have done in every single show. We end every single show with that song. It's become our signature piece.
Boil 'em cabbage down, boys, bake, bake the biscuits brown. Funniest song I ever did sing was Boil 'em cabbage down.
Let's go!
Anyway, next time he brought a banjo and a mandolin, and it was his dream to start family bands. And so, and we just ran with it. And so it was, we were the Dutton Family Bluegrass Band for years. And my dad had played a little bit of guitar in high school. My mom is actually tone deaf. So we were so little at the time. I was 7, and my brother and sister were, I might have been 8. Or no, I was 7, because Tim and Jenny were 9 and 10, and there are 4 kids younger than me, but they were really little. And so we said to my mom, you have to have a bass player in a bluegrass band. So the other kids are too little to hold the bass, you know, because I played the fiddle, Tim played the mandolin, and Jenny played the banjo. And so it took us about a month of begging her to learn the bass, and she finally did. My brother Tim, at age 9, taught her how to play the bass and came up with his own little notation system for her that was very simple. And she's got great rhythm. So she just, as long as it was written out, she couldn't hear when the chords were supposed to change. But and it's been amazing over the years how much she has developed her musical abilities over the years. It's been awesome, actually. So all of us kids, eventually they grew up, and we were all the Dutton Family Bluegrass Band for years, just did local stuff. And well, my dad was teaching classes at the university. And then things just kind of started, one thing after another happened. We were asked to go to Europe. And then the programs that we were on there, it just kind of mushroomed, and we ended up making a video. And then we got an agent that pitched it to a bunch of community concert associations all over the nation. And we thought we were gonna go out for maybe a month on tour. And we sold so many concerts that we left and were gone straight for 9 months. And
Wow.
we did over 250 concerts in that 9-month period, and where we couldn't even come back home. And it was great though. We loved it. And then of course, Branson. We heard about Branson almost just all the time. Oh, you guys would be perfect in Branson. You would be perfect in Branson. And in '97, we had a little bit of a break in our tour schedule, and we thought, we don't have any shows during the fall here. Let's go and check out Branson, and we felt good about opening a show. So we rented a spot in what is now the Pierce Arrow Theater, and we ended up performing there, and that went really well. And then we moved over to the Barbara Fairchild Theater, which is now, it was the Starlight, and it's now a museum. But while we were there, when we were getting ready to do our 3rd season, Boxcar Willie contacted us, and we didn't know him, but he had seen one of our PBS specials. We'd done, at that time we'd done 2 national PBS specials, and he had somehow gotten a copy of one of them. And he called us and he said, I'm really sick with leukemia, and I have been trying to find somebody to come and perform that in my theater that has the same values that I do for good family entertainment. And I think that that's you. And so we met about it as a family and prayed about it, because we were going to go into another theater. And we all felt really good about it. We felt really good about it. And we agreed to perform there. And the night before we opened, Boxcar passed away. And we just had a ton of town support, and his family. They had just a beautiful family. They were wonderful to work with. And then we ended up purchasing the theater 2 years later. So along with the theater came the Boxcar Willie Motel, which is now the Dutton Inn. And next to the theater was his museum, where he had all sorts of great paraphernalia. He was in the Korean War. So he had, I think, part of an airplane even in there. It was really cool. So, but we eventually, we kept that as the Boxcar Willie Museum for a couple years. And then once his wife got rid of some of the stuff, we turned it into the Dutton Deli. But now we have turned it into a gift shop called Abby's Tourist Trap, and we're actually making money on the building. Now, instead of a restaurant, that was just a lot of work. But people always want some, souvenirs, and Abby has the best prices in town. So, but we've been doing this for so long. Let's see, a little bit more. We've done 4 PBS specials. Let's see, my son my Damien, that's 13, when he was a baby, we were on America's Got Talent. So let's see, that's been however long ago. And we made it to the top 10. So that's another thing that we've done. And then just this past summer, we were on Nickelodeon on their show, America's Most Musical Family. And so that was really fun. People can find that performance on YouTube as well. And now, you had asked me about Arizona.
Right.
We have been wintering there, and we're like some of the younger winter visitors, and we absolutely love it. We've been wintering there since my 15-year-old was a baby, so it's been 15 years, and we absolutely love it. We have a theater in Mesa, and we're there. We always go there to perform about a week of Christmas shows, and then we take a little break and open up in January, and then we perform through the end of March. But this year we had to, the whole thing was, everything with the COVID-19 was happening at a really pretty quick rate once March, mid-March was happening. And anyway, we ended up having to close down a couple of weeks early, and that really hurt because we had to refund a lot of tickets. A lot of people though took a voucher, which was really sweet, that we said that was good for 2 years. So that was really nice. But we've just been trying to figure out how to manage everything. We have no money coming in. All of our employees, we have about 60 employees. They have been awesome. They're all, they've all got a wonderful attitude. They've all gone on unemployment, but they've been great. I mean, and some of them have come in to help, for a couple hours here or there without pay. They've been awesome. They've been awesome. So that's kind of, do you have any questions? I mean, I kind of gave you the whole.
Hey, listen, you did fine. I would have asked all of those things and wouldn't have got it right, so you did excellent. But here's one of the things that immediately come to mind with it. We've talked to a number of performers with this series, and the performers say, I'm a workaholic because I'm always practicing, and it's just a natural progression for me to move up on stage and perform. And now I'm missing that, and I'm not sure what to do with my time because I'm just not used to that, having that time off for extended time. But in this case here, you guys are going through the same thing, but you also have the anxiety of, we own a theater, and there's utilities to pay, there's taxes, there's insurance, there's in some cases payments yet, and all of those things to do, and that's an added stress, plus a sizable family, because the ones we've been talking to are generally 2, 3, 4 performers, as opposed to a whole family involved in this. So you got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, and it's not, when you say family, you might think of, 5 or 6 people, but it's, oh my gosh. Okay. So yesterday we're having a meeting today. And I was trying to think about how many people were in the family, and it's 15 grandkids that are here. My parents have 24, but it's 15 grandkids that are here, plus, the parents and spouses. So I was figuring there was going to be 22 at the meeting, but that doesn't even include, and this is a virtual meeting, but that doesn't include mom and dad. And because I told them they didn't have to come to the meeting, and then that didn't include my husband or Abby's husband. So there's like roughly 25 of us. And then you got, like I mentioned, about 60 employees. So what happened in March was, it was like an immediate bam, no money coming in. And then we had a lot of money we had to pay out, like bills, refunded tickets. It was I think close to $200,000. And so it was like, how are we going to do this? And so we got right on to figuring out, okay, what are, let's cancel Pepsi, let's cancel, the different things that you have every month everybody was great to work with, because everybody's kind of in this same boat, so to speak. So we just figured out where we could, trim things down and figure it out. And then, and my parents have been trying to figure out how to, get a loan and things like that through the government. And so anyway, just trying to play the game that everybody's doing. But one thing that has been really, really great, we've been able to connect a little bit with our fans on this live stream, which has been awesome. But it's also for me, I've been able to spend time with my husband and my children in a way that we only get if we're on vacation. And it's something that I'm going to treasure. I'm going to treasure. Yeah. So my husband and I, we live on some property, and so I get out there and I ride the 4-wheeler every day, and or the UTV, and we put our kids to work doing yard work. I mean, we're being very productive. The kids, you can see the piano here. All 4 of them play the piano. All 4 of them play the violin. So we're constantly having them do their practicing, and then they get online to do their schoolwork. So we felt that having some sort of a schedule is really important. So, and that's what I've been doing too. I go into the theater because I found that I'm the only one there. But I go in, or Judith will be downstairs answering phones, and then I'll be up. I'm kind of hanging out in the box office, where that's become my creative space, where I'm figuring out, okay, what are we going to do for the live stream? It's been fun. It's been fun. It's different, but I'm enjoying figuring out new ways to be creative, and it's really given me kind of this kind of nice little boost. And my kids and my husband, were having a great time together too.
You have adapted well to these circumstances, the situation going on around you. That's why we wanted to interview you on behalf of the Dutton family, so that your fans can see man, we're fighting the same fight you guys are, guys, and we're just making the best of it. We're using this opportunity when we're home and not up on the stage or traveling. We're using it for family time, and we miss you. That's why it all comes down to. The fans say, Amy, we miss you. And Amy says, fans, we miss you.
We miss you. We do. We miss you, and we cannot wait to see you again. I love going out after the shows and talking to our fans. I miss that person-to-person contact. It's wonderful, and it will happen again. We will be able to. We will see you again.
Yeah, it'll happen. This will work through. The good Lord's got it. It'll be all right. He'll work through this, and it'll be fine. Amy, thank you so much for taking time to visit with us. I know I'm interfering with the four-wheeler and some other things you want to do, but it'll be all right. And thank you so much. We look forward to this situation passing and being able to see you, and the fans look forward to coming to see you. We'll put your website information up on the screen, and then.
And I don't know if I mentioned, because our RFD, did I mention RFD? Because they can
we talked about it before, but tell me now.
I forgot. Okay, so it was funny because I called my mom asking her, when does our RFD show on Friday nights? What time? I need to make sure I tell everybody. We have a weekly TV show on RFD called The Duttons Through the Years, and it's a half-an-hour program every Friday night. It's 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. And it's really fun. So we're actually working on editing an episode about my mom right now. So it's really fun. But you tune in if you already aren't. Tune in. That gets you a great little taste of Branson. So if you're missing Branson, we have a lot of fun with that. You'll get to see. We do quite a bit of different filming around town too. It's really fun.
Awesome. Fans will tune into that. We'll check it out too. Amy, thank you so much. Good to talk to you.
You take care.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.
We've got some great things to show you today.
We have theaters in Branson, Missouri, Mesa, Arizona, and also we tour.
What would it be like to grow up on stage? To spend the majority of your time working with your family?
And we've got some wonderful videos to show you from places that we've visited all over the world.
We are family.